How you doing? My name is Gary Mahoney. I'm a table tennis coach with Leeside and Beach Hill table tennis clubs in Cork City in the south of Ireland. This video is aimed at people who have played table tennis a couple of times who would like to get better. If you are clever on the table tennis table, you can beat players with better shots and more experience if you use that cleverness. Who's the best table tennis coach in the world? You are. It's not me, it's no one else, it's you. You're in your own head all the time. Make the right decisions, keep yourself calm, think about what you're going to do and why. So, in general, if you want to play safe, aim for the middle of the table, the middle of your opponent's half of the table. If you make a mistake, then you have a 2.5 foot at least radius. That's like 70 centimeters or more, or 80 centimeters or more of a radius for a margin of error. So if you miss there and you make a 70 centimeter error, you are still playing. You're still in the rally, in the point. Now, if you're playing someone of a much lower level, you can just keep hitting the ball to the middle of the table, play safe, and wait for them to make the mistake. But if you're playing someone who's much better than you, or a similar level even, you have to actively win the point rather than waiting for your opponent to make a mistake. You have to actually force a mistake. Because if you give them a gentle shot, you get it back with interest. So you have to add what I call venom. Now, venom, as I call it, is something that would make my opponent weak. It might win me the point, or it might force a weak response, which allows me to add even more venom to the next shot, to keep piling on the venom. So pile on the venom early and often, if you can. So, a snake says psss, P-S-S-S. P-S-S-S stands for P, placement. Place the ball around the edge of the opponent's half of the table, rather than just playing safe in the middle. Play it close to the net, over the sides, mix them up, move them around, deep into the body, deep into the corners, and then deceive them. So if the ball is coming into my body, it's very hard for me to dig the ball out of my belly. If the ball goes deep into the corners, it's good. If it goes deep into the forehand corner, I might get the ball. If it goes behind me. If the ball goes deep into the backhand corner, it's very hard for me to get that ball back, especially not with much venom on it itself. I'd just be glad to get the ball back on the table. Similarly, if the ball is coming into my body, the most difficult part of the body to return a shot from is the elbow of the arm that holds the bat. It's always like 50, 70 centimeters from the ball, from the bat. So it's very hard, if you're hitting it towards my elbow, for me to get the bat to the ball. So I'd be lucky to get it back on the table, never mind getting it back with any interest. So that's P for placement. S is for speed. Hit the ball fast, hit the ball hard. That's a good one. Another form of speed would be to hit the ball early, to block the ball. That's a much more difficult shot to do, so you're better off leaving it until you can learn how to hit the ball hard with speed. P-S, placement, speed. The next S is for spin. I can brush on the back of the ball and make the ball curve around in different ways. So that spin will make the ball curve, and it'll also make the ball react strangely when it hits your opponent's bat. So that's the third letter. Placement, speed, spin, and surprise is the last one. So maybe I'm going to pretend that I'm going to hit the ball there and then I'm going to hit it somewhere else. That's one form of surprise. Another form of surprise would be to disguise what kind of spin you're going to put on the ball. So in a serve like this, my opponent didn't know which way I was going to hit it until the last second. And another variation on that is how much spin you put on the ball. So like the difference between 8,000 revolutions per minute and 6,000 revolutions per minute could be the difference between you hitting the net or you hitting it off the end of the table. So you have to judge that. The easiest way of dealing with your opponent's spin is to dominate everything by putting more spin, more power in your ball. Also, you can be very clever. Like what I call venom doesn't have to be very hard. It can be clever. Like a nice little short serve that's close to the net that makes your opponent think they're going to have to go somewhere else for the ball, and you're getting it, you're making them move maybe out of their reach. So, the ready position. Generally, if I'm waiting for the ball from over here, my opponent's probably going to hit it over there, far out of my way. So I'm going to have to run for it. The more I run for it, the less stable I'm going to be. If I'm over here, they're going to hit it over there. Wouldn't it be nice to be neutral? Also, if I am standing waiting for a backhand, someone's probably going to hit it to my forehand because it takes me longer to get my bat around to the forehand side. And if I'm standing waiting for a forehand, someone's going to hit it to my backhand because it's going to take me longer to get my bat around to that side. Obviously, if I'm turning sideways like that, behind me is a good place to hit the ball because I'm not going to do that with any accuracy. So if I'm standing very close to the table, as I already described, someone is going to hit the ball deep into my body, into my belly. Very hard to dig the ball out of your belly. So I shouldn't be too close to the table. If I'm very far back, someone is going to do a really short little shot that's barely going to go over the net and it's going to make me run for it. Generally, a good idea is make the opponent run. A good idea, if you're waiting for the ball, if you're receiving the ball, is to be in the ready position. Now, simplest way of describing the ready position is follow the center line with your arm and your shoulder is right in front of the center line. I'm touching the edge of the table, that's my distance, and my bat is up. So I'm ready. I'm the same distance from each corner. I'm not waiting for a backhand or a forehand. I'm neutral. I'm not too close to the table. I'm not too far back. I am in the ready position. So a good idea is to get back to the ready position until you know where the ball is going to go. Now you can serve from wherever you're going to serve, get to the ready position afterwards to try and receive the return. I'm not going to come over here and hit a shot and stay here waiting to see what the opponent is going to do. I'm going to hit my shot and I'm going to get back to the ready position so that I can get the ball. I'm a better place to hit the next ball. So also, if I have good footwork, if I'm nice and wide and low and bouncy, if I have one good shot, I can repeat that one good shot over and over and over again. And there's a video online of Tom Lodziak, and he has an English international lady demonstrating with him, and she's bouncing the whole time, and she's making like 10 centimeter adjustments so that she's always hitting the ball with the sweet spot. So she's actually bouncing all the time, and she's jumping to the ball. She's not just walking with stiff legs like a giraffe or with heavy legs like an elephant. She's like a lively crab, going over and back the whole time. So, and similar with your backhand. So some of a couple of little tips for dealing with some of my suggested attacks. If someone hits the ball deep into your body, you can get it back with your backhand up to a point where you're over here, and then it becomes a bit ridiculous. At that stage then, what you might want to do is step this way, step sideways and take a forehand, or else, if you don't have time to take 2 steps, you might have to take 1 step just to get your body out of the way. Now, the shot that goes deep into the backhand, here's my ready position. If someone hits it deep into the backhand, I don't just go straight over to get it. I try and go diagonally a bit. It gives me more time and more space to hit the ball. So, also, if I'm moving over and back to get the ball, I am going to prepare my arm for my shot. I'm not going to go 1 step, 2 steps, and then go. So as I am going over, I am preparing my bat for the shot. There was a young gentleman in our table tennis club a number of years ago, and he was tall and thin, and he used to stand up straight like this and reach for the ball, but if the ball was out of his reach, he would be tripping literally over his own feet, doing a wishy-washy shot like that. And then, so this shot is inconsistent, and that shot is inaccurate, it is weak. So you wouldn't want to deliberately do that. And then, because he's over here, he's out of position for the next shot, so if he happens to get the ball back on the table, and the opponent got it back, he was way over near another table. No good to him. So it's better to get over there quickly and move back again. So sometimes I won't have time to do 1, 2 steps. Sometimes I will only have time to do 1 step for the ball. But that one step for the ball, I'm much more stable than no steps. Okay? So that's just a few tips. And if you're on holidays, that might benefit you and your table tennis.